Hello everyone, very good morning. Welcome to this class. Today is 27th of November. Tomorrow is 28th and the day after tomorrow is 29th when the CAT actually starts, actually happens. The preparation is already happened. In just 2 days. You have to just revise your notes, just go through whatever you've done and it's just more of a time in which you should be eating well, sleeping well, and relaxing and staying calm. Yeah, this is what you're doing. But let's read also a little, solve a few questions. Don't solve anything. Don't try to learn or read or try to grapple with some very difficult problem at this point of time, something which you haven't done. For the course of 2 days, solve some questions, solve some simple set, okay, or revise. So my name is Anupam. Please download and install Unacademy app. Go to Plus Cat and subscribe. See if I'm coming online. So Unacademy offers a lot of free classes. There are special classes. There are special quizzes on the app. So for that you will have to download the app. They're free. We don't charge you those classes anything. And those classes are amazing. They're live and you can not only watch them live, but also you can watch the recording of those classes. So all the old previously held special classes are present on the app. You just have to go and search and you can play them. But that only helps so far. That only gives you some sort of awareness and knowledge. But when it comes to the skills will only come. Skills which are most important for your preparation, you can only achieve them if you are able to if you have if you have solved questions, if you have solved uh, n number of question papers and topic wise test, mock test, and that will happen, that will only happen if you're going to subscribe to a good platform. And I think Unacademy is a platform because quality and the quantity has been taken care of, has been taken care of beautifully here. The pricing is amazing and there is no compromise from the quality standard. So please use the code Saxena Live to get 10% discount, and the pricing will come down to 18,900, and the per month EMI is 7,000. This one is still to be updated. The pricing will come down to even less than 7,000. Modify it in the PPT. So Apart from that, the people, so 18,900, and this you can pay it in EMI also. 7,000 change something will be your 700 something change will be your EMI. It will be not 875, will be less than that. And the the kind of quality which we are giving to you, I think this is unparalleled, and most brilliant kind of a work which we have done. People who are writing CAT this year, I think for them 3 months or 6 months plan makes more sense to me, and they will be also getting a lot of discount on this. So whatever is written 750 for 3 months, for 6 months 14K, on this also you will be getting 10% discount. So let's try and solve this question, this question paper, this RC first, and that will give you a mental jog to start the preparation. I use a smartphone GPS to find my way through a cobblestone maze of Geneva's old town in search of a handmade machine that changed the world more than any other invention. In the 13th century cathedral in Swiss city on the shores of a lovely lake, I found what I was looking for, a Gutenberg press. So this person was looking for a Gutenberg press, and he was using it's an old prototype, the first of the printing press, but he used smartphone GPS to reach there. This was the internet of its day, at least as influential as the iPhone, said Gabriel, the director of the Museum of Reformation, toying with the replica of Johann Gutenberg's great invention. So they're saying that this was the internet of its day, at least as influential as iPhone. This was like the printing press was extremely important when it came to spreading the word around it, and it was at least as influential as iPhone. It took, before invention of printing press, it took 4 months up to a year to produce a single book. With advance in the movable type in 15th century Europe, one could press crank out 3,000 pages a day. They're saying that earlier it used to take 4 months, a year to write a book. Now you can print 3,000 pages a day from a single machine. So this changed everything, okay? Long before, average people could travel to places that used to be unknown to them before long. So what happened? Now this is trying to, what is the purpose of this case here? What they're trying to do is they're trying to tell what kind of a revolution was brought, what impact this machine had. This is giving example. Because earlier 1 month used to take a year, 4 months used to take a year to write a book. Now you could write, now you could print 3,000 pages a day from a single machine. And before long, average people could travel to unknown places. So you could travel, okay? Medical information passed more freely, quickly, diminishing the way of quacks. So medical information became more accessible, so people could not be fooled. Okay, the quacks could be challenged. The printing press offered the prospect that tyrants would never be able to kill a book or suppress an idea. They're saying that the printing press offered the prospect that tyrants, so they're saying that tyrants, it is responsible that the tyrants, the people who suppressed democracy and the voice of people, they would never be able to kill a book or suppress an idea. Now this was also this was also one of the benefits. The Gutenberg's brainchild broke the monopoly that clerics had on scripture. They said that the Gutenberg's brainchild broke that stronghold which some people had on religion and scripture, which some priestly class had on the scripture. So now everybody could read the holy text, and they could interpret it correctly. And later, stirred by the pamphlets of a version of the same press, the American colonies rose up against a king and gave birth to an alias. Now they're saying that later, stirred by the pamphlets from a version of the same press, the American colonies rose up against a king and gave birth to a nation. Now they're saying that a certain writings, certain pamphlets, certain slogans which were written by the same press, the version of the same press, they inspired American War of Independence. So the people in US, they got inspired, and they took up the challenge to free themselves from the shackles of slavery. Okay, so question in the summer of this 10th century iPhone has a device that is perhaps the most revolutionary of all time, given us a single magnificent idea. Now it was talking about what? It was talking about the printing press. And now it brings the discussion to iPhone. It has a device that is perhaps the most revolutionary of all time, given us a single magnificent idea. Nearly every advancement of the written world through new technology has also advanced mankind. Sure, you can say the iPhone changed everything, but putting the words recorded knowledge in the palm of hand, it revolutionized work, dining, travel, and socializing. It made us more narcissistic, here's more of me doing cool stuff, and it unleashed an army of awful trolls. We have no patience. We no longer have patience to sit through a baseball game without the treats through the pocket. And one more casualty of Apple selling more than 1 billion phones in a decade's time, daydreaming has become a lost art. I think in this piece, in this particular part, the author has said some good things about some iPhone, but it has gone also to talk about some negative aspects of it. That we have become more self-centered, we have become restless, and we are so hooked on to the technology that daydreaming has become a lost art. This is what it is trying to say. This is what it is trying to mention here. So yeah, nearly now the entire objective, now the entire aim here was to talk about it, and this has been mentioned here so clearly. Now, a question in the summer. So let's try and solve some questions, because we have read almost half of the let's try and solve some questions. The printing press has been linked to the internet for which of the following reasons? What is the reason the printing press has been linked to the internet? Because it could rapidly spread information, right? It could rapidly print information, and could be it could be spread across. Remember, it said that this was the internet of its day, at least as influential as the iPhone. And it used to take 4 months up to a year to produce a single book. And with advance in the movable type in 15th century, one press could crank out 3,000 pages a day. So it enabled access to new information and sharing of ideas. It represented new and revolutionary technology. This was never mentioned. It encouraged reading among people by giving them access to thousands of books. No. It gave people access to pamphlets and literature in different languages. No, this was also never mentioned. According to the passage, invention of the printing press did all of the following except promoted spread of enlightened political views, correct? Gave people access to medical information and religious texts, yes. Shortened time to produce books and pamphlets, yes. Now fourth one has to be our answer, because except did all of the following except enable people to perform various tasks simultaneously. Okay. This is what it was trying to say here, that this was something which it did not do. Steve Jobs predicted which one of the following with the introduction of iPhone? Steve Jobs predicted. So Steve Jobs, we haven't yet come. Let's read the entire piece and then let's come back again. For all of that, I'm still waiting to see if iPhone can do what printing press did for religion and democracy. So it's saying that for all of that, I'm waiting to see if the iPhone can do what printing press did for religion and democracy. The Geneva Museum makes a strong case that printing press opened more minds than anything else. It is hard to imagine the French or American revolutions without those enlightened voices in the print. Not long after Steve Jobs introduced his iPhone, he said the bound book was probably headed for history's attic. Not so fast. After a period of rapid growth in ebooks, something closer to the medium of Chaucer's volume has made a great comeback. So he's saying here that I'm still waiting to see if iPhone can do what printing press did for religion and democracy. That means the kind of contribution printing press made for now he's again, it's an argumentative RC. So the author is arguing again that I'm waiting to see if printing press can do what iPhone did for religion and says the Geneva Museum makes a strong case that the printing press opened more minds than anything else. It's hard to imagine the French or American revolutions without those enlightened voices in print. Saying it is hard to imagine French or that without those printed pamphlets, those ideas which were written in print and they were spread across, and they were printed by the printing press. I don't know if American or French Revolution might have ever come. But similar impact, similar effect of iPhone, the author is yet to see. These are all author's views. You may not agree with them, but this is what author thinks. Not long after, Steve Jobs said that he introduced iPhone, he said that the bound book was probably headed for history's artists. Now, when Steve Jobs produced iPhone, he said that the book, which is printed book, which is bound book, is a physical book, that book is going to become a artifact of history. It will be probably it will become history's attic. That means attic is a room, small room in which people store things which are not used any longer. You know, some articles, some old books, some old clothes, some old equipments. Maybe they are kept because of some emotional value, or they don't want to throw them away. But at the same time, they don't have any real value in the present moment. You know. For history's attic, the bound book will be headed for. Not so fast. After a period of growth in ebook, something closer to the medium for Chaucer's volume has made a great comeback. They say that something closer to the medium of Chaucer's volume has made a great comeback. No, it's not happening. The physical book, the bound book are still in vogue. The hope of the iPhone and the internet in general was that it would free people in closed societies. They are saying that the hope of the iPhone and the internet in general was that it would free people in closed societies. But the failure of Arab Spring and the continued suppression of ideas in North Korea, China, and Iran has not borne that out. The iPhone is still young. It is still young. It has certainly been one of the most important, world-changing, and successful products in history. As Apple CEO Tim Cook said, but I'm not sure it would if the world changed better with iPhone as it did with printing press or mailing chains. The author is saying here that the author is not sure if the it's saying that hope of the iPhone was that it would free people in some countries where there is people are being suppressed, people are being their human rights, their democratic rights are being taken for granted. But when we see the failure of Arab Spring, when we look at the suppression of ideas in North Korea, Iran, and China, we don't see that. I think iPhone hasn't done what printing press should. So now what is happening? It's comparing iPhone with the printing press. It's trying to seek, okay, with this so much of technological advantage, could iPhone do what back in those days printing press do? Right. So some of you might disagree with him. Some of you might think the parallels been drawn, the comparison being done. This is not correct. This is not fair. But this is how it is. This is what the author thinks. So again, we'll be restricted to what author thinks here. What is the author's views? What is the author with what idea do we understand from whatever is given in the piece here? So it says that we don't know whether the word has changed for good, or it has mainly changed. Steve Jobs predicted which one of the following with the introduction of iPhone. Here written in C, reading printed books would become a thing of past. People would switch from reading internet to reading on internet to reading on iPhone. This was never mentioned. People would lose interest in historical and traditional classics. This was never mentioned. The production of ebooks would eventually fall. This was also never mentioned. I am still waiting to see if iPhone can do what printing press did for religion and democracy. The author uses which of the following to indicate his uncertainty. So the author has used which of the following to indicate his uncertainty. The author has used this, that continued suppression of free speech in closed societies. Okay. A says the rise of religious groups in many parts of the world. This was never mentioned. Continual expansion of trolling on narcissism among the users of internet. Now, this says trolling and narcissism is a different behavior. It doesn't talk about religion and democracy. Decline in reading habits among those who use device. This is also never mentioned. The author attributes the French and an American revolutions to invention of printing press because the author attributes the French and American revolution printing press because B, rapid spread of information exposed people to new freedom, new ideas of freedom and democracy. There is a rapid spread of information exposed people to new ideas on freedom and democracy. Right? Maps enabled large number of Europeans to travel and settle in American continent. This was ever mentioned. It encouraged religious freedom among people by destroying the monopoly of the religious leaders on scriptures. This was one of the benefits, but was not related to the French or American revolution. It made revolutionary strategies and opinions. It made available revolutionary strategies and opinions to people. This was also never mentioned. The main conclusion of the passage is that the new technology has. The main conclusion of the passage is that the new technology has some advantages. What's the main page? What is the main conclusion of the passage? The main conclusion of the passage is that the new technology has not been as successful if we compare to the printing press. It has not been as successful in inspiring people or in inspiring people to put up a fight, to wage a fight against the regressive and oppressive governments of the world. Basically, it has not been able to it has not been able to bring out the kind of revolution which the printing press brought. So B is the right option. So far not proved as successful as printing press in opening people's mind. The main conclusion of the passage is that the new technology has some advantages but these are outweighed by disadvantages. Some advantages, this was never mentioned. Has been disappointing because it has changed the policy society too rapidly. Been more wasteful than printing press because people spend more time daydreaming or surfing. So yeah, please keep revising little, don't bother yourself too much. Right? Don't bother yourself too much. And Unacademy subscription offers you live classes. You get to interact with the educator, live polls, leaderboard, test series, and analysis. So the plus courses in the plus course, which is special, which are the uniquely designed courses for you people who subscribe to Unacademy. Those classes are live. You can ask questions. You can talk to the educator, and you and their polls, their quizzes, and test series are also done. So test series and analysis are the backbone of the preparation, and there are so many courses, so many test series, topic wise tests, sectional test, which you can make use of. At the same time, every fourth class in a plus course is a doubt solving session.